Good morning. I am D. Sengotin, Assistant Professor of Physics, SNS College of Technology, Coimbatore. Today our topic is lasers Einstein's A and B coefficients. That means absorption, spontaneous emission and stimulated emission. So the diagram shows that normally all the atoms in the ground state, that means E1, then second state it means excited state. Once energy absorbed from ground state, then ground state atoms moving from E1 to E2. Then second half, that means spontaneous emission or stimulated emission. Then energy moving from excited state to ground state, spontaneous, that is called spontaneous emission. If energy is required, that means atom molecules or photons is required. External force, that means stimulated emission. So energy triggered from one photon to another photon. Then one photon transfer energy from one level to another level. That means Kh mu and Kh mu. So these all are the difference between spontaneous and stimulated emission. So we are going to studying about the relation between spontaneous and stimulated, that is also absorption and emission. So Einstein's A and B coefficients. So the first of all we are studying about absorption. That means n absorption, number of atoms absorption is equal to P12. P it means Einstein coefficient. Then 1, 2 it means ground state to excited state. The first state number is 1, then second state number is 2. Then N1 it means number of atoms in the ground state, then incident energy Q. So finally the N absorption is equal to B12 N1Q, or N absorption directly proportional to number of atoms in the ground state and also incident energy Q. Once the energy absorbed, then the atoms moving from one level to another level, that means ground state to excited state. Then atoms or molecules moving from second level to ground level, that means spontaneous emission without required external force. Then N spontaneous, NSP is equal to A21. Then second state to ground state, that means 221, A21. Then number of atoms in the excited state. So finally N spontaneous is directly proportional to number of atoms in the excited state or E2 state. So A it means Einstein coefficient. Then second emission, it notes very simple, the stimulated emission, that is required external energy triggered photons moving from excited state to ground state. Then N stimulated, NST is equal to P21, that P it means Einstein coefficient, then 21 second state to ground state. Then N2 it means number of atoms in the excited state, Q equal to incident radiation or external force. So finally the absorption is equal to emission. So N absorption is equal to N stimulated NST plus N spontaneous NSP. Then at equilibrium condition, the equations A21 N2 plus P21 N2Q is equal to P12 N1Q. That means spontaneous emission plus stimulated emission is equal to stimulated absorption. Then rearranging the above equation number 5, then P21 N1Q minus P21 N2Q is equal to A21 N2. The finally Q is common value, so Q is into P12 N1 minus P21 N2 is equal to A21 N2. Then denominator divided by B21 N2. The finally equation 7 is known as Q equal to A21 by P21 N2, 1 by P12 by P21, then N1 by N2 minus 1. So A and B it means Einstein coefficient, then B12 and B21, the ratio it means spontaneous and stimulated emission. Then A21 it means stimulated absorption, the ratio between A21 B21 and also P12 B21. So the Einstein coefficient finally it will produce comparison between A and B, that means Einstein coefficients A and B, and also relation between stimulated absorption and stimulated emission, and also spontaneous emission and stimulated emission. Now finally the N1 by N2 it is equal to e power Kh mu by kT. So Kh mu equal to photon energy and the K equal to Boltzmann constant, T equal to absolute temperature. Then applying the N1 N2 value in equation number 7. So equation number 7 and 8, finally equation number 8 is compared with Planck's radiation formula for energy distribution. So the Planck's radiation formula Q equal to 8 pi h mu cube by c cube into 1 by e power h mu by kt minus 1. Then compare the equation number 8 and 9. So P12 equal to P21, it means spontaneous stimulator emission and stimulator absorption is equal to 1. Then P12 equal to P21. So finally the ratio between A21 by P21, that means spontaneous emission and stimulator emission. So ratio between A21 and B21 is equal to 8 by h mu cube by c cube or 8 by h by lambda power cube.